Okay, so today we're going to be reading a book called Puffins, and it is written by Kira Freed. And before we start, we're going to do a KWL chart because this is a nonfiction book about different types of puffins. And do you know what nonfiction means? What does that mean?
Real life?
Real life, yes. It's not a fable or a fairy tale or a story. It doesn't necessarily have a plot line with characters. It's more about information. So that's what this book is about, is information on puffins. And so to start out with, we're going to do a KWL chart. And it's going to be what I know about puffins, what I want to know about puffins, and then we're going to read the book, and then we're going to go through and talk about what you learned about puffins after reading. And so what are some things that you already know?
That they're like a kind of bird, but like a penguin almost.
They're a kind of bird, like a penguin. Do you know anything else?
No, I don't
No?
really read that much about birds.
Yeah, especially penguins. We don't really have them here. What do you want to know about penguins? Or about puffins, I'm sorry.
How do they survive and like catch food?
Okay, is there anything else you think you'd want to learn about puffins?
If they lay eggs like penguins.
If they lay eggs like penguins. Okay, so we have two things that we want to learn from reading the book. So as you're reading, just keep in mind those two questions that you have about puffins, and then hopefully we'll find that information, and then just remember that this was my question and here's the answer. So ta-da! And then before we start reading, I have a list of some vocabulary that I just want to make sure that you're aware of so you don't get hung up while we're reading.
Okay.
Do you know what breeding season is? Like, do you know what that means? Okay, breeding season is the time of the year when animals of certain species will get together and mate to reproduce. Do you know what a burrow is?
Isn't it like a hole in the ground?
Yeah. Burrow is a hole in the ground. And I want you to see these words too, so that when you see them in the book, you can recognize that as well. And so climate change, do you know what that means?
No.
That means that, the Earth's weather patterns are changing. Have you heard of, like, global warming? You haven't heard that? Okay, well, scientists believe that our climate, our weather is changing and is just constantly getting warmer, and then that's affecting animals and their habitats. It's also affecting plants, and it's affecting Earth in general. So climate change is just changing in our weather, essentially. Coastal. Do you know what that means?
No.
Okay, coastal means having to do with the coast of, like, the shore of a sea or an ocean. You know, like California is on the west coast of the U.S., so it's the edge of the water. Colonies.
No.
No? Okay, colonies is a colony of puffins would be a group of puffins that live together. So a colony is just a group. How about inhabit?
Is it like where you like, let's say you like bite your nails a lot?
No.
It's a habit?
No, but it's good. It's cool that you picked out the word habit, but it doesn't have to do with biting your nails. Do you know the word habitat?
Yeah.
What is that?
Like, how puffins survive and like what their prey.
A habitat is where an animal lives.
Yeah.
So when they inhabit, that's what they're living in. You know, like they inhabit a certain area. They live in a certain area. But that was neat that you picked out that word. Okay, reproduce. Do you know?
I heard it, but I don't know what.
Okay, well, in this case, it would be when two puffins get together and make another little puffin. You know, so they're making offspring. Now, tufted. Do you know, like, what do you think of when you hear the word tuft?
Like to hold something. Or...
Okay. Like, I think of like a tuft of hair or something. But tufted is a cluster of like feathers in regards to the puffins. When we say tufted, they have little like clumps of feathers, and they're called tufts. And webbed. Now, what do you think that means thinking about puffins?
That they're like stuck. Or
Well, you think about puffins, think about their feet. And they have to swim. What's going to make it easier for them to swim?
their feet.
What on their feet would make it easier?
Flippers.
And so they have their toes, and in between their toes is webbing. So they have webbed feet. So that's what webbed means in this context. Okay? So, just to go over what you want to know is we want to learn how they survive and catch food, and if they lay eggs like penguins. So when you're ready, you can start reading, and then just pause where I put the markers, and we'll go over some questions, okay? All right, whenever you're ready.